So what the world needs is a lot of stocking stuffers, maybe a Jason Stockwell real estate agent in every stocking. May your days be merry and white.
Welcome back, folks,
And may
to
all
the Stockwell
your
Eldritch Show.
Christmases
Christopher Harrington filling in for Dawn Eldritch. Christopher, your voice is growing on me. I know Dawn has a good voice, but
I can get up there and I can go
I like
down
it.
there.
We have
with
Stephanie
beer
Havel with
baritone.
Wells Fargo.
Good morning.
Nate Nelson, Mesley and Kramer. We finished last segment talking about Trump, a lot about Trump and the policies and whatnot, and then we have John Ziem with Vanquish AP.
Good morning.
Here as well, and so last segment here talking about all kinds of stuff, and we talked on a break about some things. Nate, on the end of the last segment, said that the Trump tax
Consequence,
plan,
right? Tax consequences, kind of.
Well, he thinks it's
Tax cuts.
Tax cuts, but consequences to the.
It's going to be a good thing because the individuals will have more money in their pockets to do stuff with all the way across the board.
All the
right?
brackets are going down.
All
Okay.
the brackets are
Oh.
going down. Okay, which I know some people hate to hear because it's scary because it's like, well, who's going to pay for all these other things? Where does that? What's the theory on that, Nate?
We'll save that for another show.
Okay. Mexico, right?
Mexico.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, he doesn't like free trade all of a sudden, so that's the next issue.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but hopefully, I think you're seeing that with the stock market being up as it is, and a lot of optimism going into 2017, especially in our industry, it's real estate and housing and finance. I think it should be a good, at least first half of the year. So we're really hoping for that. So if you have a house to sell or you know someone who does, contact us, 651-400-0773, 651-400-0773. And also there was some people on the show that commented back. I know we did a show a while back before I got ill about how we're going to go to lunch to the restaurant bar that we had on the show, Bar A or Bar.
Right.
We are going to be doing that. I think there were people so we're going to be reaching out to you on Facebook to join us, me, Dawn, and probably Stephanie at the show. And if Christopher can make it and sing, great.
Yeah.
From the residential rental model, Jane Green, who's been on the show before, is an active investor. She's from London. A lot of her friends and family are investing in the United States rental market for property, single family, multifamily, and specifically Minneapolis they've targeted and chosen a lot to do in Minneapolis. It's one of the top markets for foreign investors to buy in once you know about it, once you know about Minneapolis, because of jobs. Stephanie said we have a very, very low unemployment. And John, are you seeing in your business as property managers for rental properties a lot of properties from foreign investors buying, or even out-of-state investors buying in the Twin Cities market because of stability?
Out of country, we've got a couple of investors that are from out of country that have come in to the area because of that exact reason and everything. The
returns are looking at.
they're looking at. Yeah, I mean, there's a number of factors, but it all boils down to one thing, which is their bottom line, obviously. So,
Yep.
it's the type of people that live here overall. It's the job markets that is very strong, low unemployment. It's the quality of housing they can buy for the prices. It's all of that factoring in. But yeah, I think Minneapolis is one of the best markets right now, and that, to me, kind of confirms it, because they did look at Chicago. They own buildings in New York. They own buildings everywhere, and this is their new place where they're starting to really buy. So.
And is there somewhere too, like I know you mentioned your website. If I was, like Jason, we talk about, people going to maybe listing their home and, they've got a buyer that's hot and they need to move into that house, but maybe that seller isn't quite, found that new home, or maybe they decide to go new construction. Can I find a list of rentals on your website, places that you have available? And can I rent from month to month or 6 months? Or, you always hear you have to have a 1-year lease. Or
Right.
So how can I find out about some of these rental properties if I'm looking to rent, or if I want short-term rental?
Yeah, you can go to our website and find everything on there.
You have a list of rentals on Vanquish AP?
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm updating vacancies right now.
Come
So
on,
there's going to be
software guy.
There's
gonna
not
be
many vacancies, right?
there's not a lot, but yeah, we have a real-time vacancy. So as soon as a property comes onto our system that doesn't have a renter, it's listed there, or as soon as there's a lease coming due within 90 days, it automatically pops on there as well. So there's a list there that is going to be updated actually by tomorrow night. We'll have
then
a
month
brand
to
new
month?
page up there. So
So how you handle? You get a lot of month to month or not?
we don't do a ton of it, but our system handles anything. We advise a lot of owners that are strictly kind of a 12-month type of lease. Well, you know what? This tenant's really good, but they only want to stay 6 months. I'd say you go ahead and do it. We can handle the releasing when it comes due and stuff like that. So
Even now, folks, usually everybody doesn't want to release at all in the winter. I can't tell you, I've seen people looking for rentals
Yeah.
November, December, and usually it's
Yeah.
like, no, you don't want to do it till April, May, June because no one wants to move in the wintertime. But man,
Right.
there's
I can speak to that. I just filled a duplex in a week.
yeah.
Get that up on Craigslist, Zillow, whatnot. Yeah, not a problem. There's
And it
probably-
rented out quickly in the winter.
Well, I
Correct.
think we're lucky too with the
1
weather
week,
we've had.
1
you know,
week.
I was just
Close.
gonna say the weather has a lot to
Season-
to do with that as well, and it's not hard to move right now. There's no snow, there's no ice. I mean, it's a little cold.
It's just
but
cold.
But we are working on a white Christmas.
We're trying to get some snow for Christmas. And
Gotta
then,
get
so if
that.
you guys have questions about the value of your home, try this site out, mspvalues.com, mspvalues.com. Go there, just put in your address. No cost or obligation. I'll give you 3 numbers, range of values on your property, and then we can meet you in person if you want to give a more accurate value. Nate Nelson, Mesley and Kramer. Closing statements. Go. What would you like to close with for the person out there that's listening? That is actually the 2 people. One person who says yes, I'm excited about Trump, and the person who says no, I'm not excited about Trump. Is there anything you could say to each of them individually, or is it the same statement?
I think it's a fair motion on either side, and I think it's just a matter of trying to do your best in the future, and hopefully everything will be in alignment at the end of the year.
If it's your goal to get out of the rat race, if it's your goal to not be calling into work and being there 8 to 5, 9 to 5, all that stuff, get into investment property, contact Nate Nelson, get a business set up, a LLC. You don't have to own anything, Nate, do you, to start it, right? You just you're planning it to, right?
Right. Have the entity form so when you're ready to proceed, you're already set up properly.
Yeah, and you can start taking the benefits of deductions on your cell phone bill, folks, on your computer, home internet, your home
Mileage.
office, mileage, all these things that you're already doing regularly that you don't get credit for. Get credit for them. It's few extra steps, very cost effective to set it up, and then who knows where you can go from there and take it from there, because you can start any business. I mean, it doesn't even have to be in real estate, but real estate's one of the ones that I love and know and
Yep.
all of us here.
Yep.
So that's what we would say. But anything else, I mean, that's what I would say. If your New Year's resolution is to get out of that, if you're sick of what's going on, not to say quit your job so boldly, but maybe set up a plan so that you don't necessarily rely on it as much as you do. Or if you do want to quit your job, this would be a good way to do it too, is to start a business and get out of it. So,
Well, and on that too, I was going to say, and get pre-approved. I mean, you can go to my website too. It's just stephaniehavel.com, or you can call me 612-940-7335. But just know, get your ducks in order. All your finances in order. Maybe you're not, but we can help you get there. So when that spring market, like you said, Jason, you've got to do it now. It's like, you want to lose 10 pounds, in 2 weeks. You don't
wait
step
till
on
after Christmas.
Well, you don't step on the scale on day 14 and see how much you've lost. You know what I mean? You've got to be proactive in that. So
Yes, use
stop
the
into Wells
resources of
Fargo
Wells
and-
Fargo because it's not, the money's inexpensive right now. Take advantage of it,
and it's
right?
free.
I mean,
it's like you said too, to call you to get analysis on your house. Go to Wells Fargo. My website, stephaniehavel.com. There's all kinds of resources. What
well,
your
thank you,
payment would be.
Stephanie Havel, Wells Fargo, Nate Nelson, Mesley and Kramer. Thank you, John Zeman.
Thanks for having me.
John Zeman, Vanquish AP. We'll be back next week. Remember, love yourself and love others.
Love others.
Thank you, Chris Harrington.
Let's work on that white Christmas. We only did a dusting, and that's just not quite enough.
All right, John, let's go.